This is a topic that I have stumbled upon a couple of times now, but the comparison between East and Trails and their respective release schedules is something that has some fans on the East side of things a little concerned, a little worried, and a little miffed by. Ever since going back to 2010, Trails has had a very, very steady stream of releases, with the biggest gap between releases being Cold Steel 2 and Cold Steel 3 at 3 years, whereas every other title has been 1 to 2 years. And within the last 5 years, not counting Cold Steel 4, we had Reverie in 2020, Daybreak in 2021, Daybreak 2 in 2022, literally the year after that, we had 3 games, one each year. Then we had a year break, Kai no Kiseki in 2024, and now we're getting Trails in the Sky First Chapter in 2025. Whereas with Ys, we had Ys 8 in 2016, 3 years later, Ys 9, and then 4 years later, Ys 10. And Proud Nordics 2025. We're not going to talk about that. But it's something that I've been seeing some Ys fans complaining about. That, oh, why does Trails get so many releases, meanwhile we're stuck waiting for so long? Trails games reuse a ton of assets because they can. Trails focuses mostly on the story and the characters. And with the gameplay system being relatively the same core system since, well, the Sky games, just some slight tweaks here and there, ultimately, at the end of the day, they can afford to release more games at a more consistent rate. And reusing assets really helps diminish dev time and all that stuff. Whereas with Ys, they have to, correct me if I'm wrong, they have to completely make every Ys game from the ground up. They don't really reuse assets all that much. And as far as reusing assets goes, the most recent example is at Ys 10 Nordics, from what I have seen in the trailers and such. It does seem like they are using some either skeletons or animations from Kai no Kiseki in Ys 10, which is why it looks so good, by the way. But do you guys think these quote-unquote long drought periods between mainline Ys titles is a big deal? I know that if you're somebody like me and you're a fan of both Ys and Trails, it's not really a big deal. To me, at least. But I guess if you're an Ys-only fan, the wait can be a bit excruciating, but also you have to look at it from their perspective. 3 years between titles is very short, especially when compared to some AAA game studios, sometimes waiting a decade for that beloved sequel, only for that sequel to absolutely suck and not live up to the expectations of the previous title. So in my opinion, I think we're doing just fine as far as releases go. And hey, the more titles that Falcom can release, the more money they can make, which means the more they can funnel back into their titles, Trails and Ys respectively, and other things like the future Tokyo Xanadu sequel, and whatever else they've got cooking. Some unannounced titles? Falcom, please save that for 2026. We don't need any more crazy 2025 announcements, alright? Just keep focusing on Tokyo Xanadu sequel and Kai 2, or whatever else the next Trails game is going to be. But I honestly think Falcom has been doing fantastic as far as from a dev cycle perspective. And so I want to pose the question to you guys. What do you think? Do you think the wait between Ys titles is too long? Do you think they focus too much on Trails? Do you think their focus on Trails can at times derail Ys titles from coming out? Or do you think they should reuse more assets in the Ys games to speed up dev time a bit more? I don't know how, especially considering, from my understanding, most of the Ys games run on entirely different engines, right? So it's not like there's much that could be reused, unless they made a spin-off in that same engine, which would you want them to spend time making a spin-off, or would you rather them fully focus on a new East title? I know I'm asking a lot of questions, but hey, I want to get a conversation rolling. I just want to get people's general opinions on this matter, because it's something that I'm not too certain how widespread of a thought this is, especially from the East fans in particular, who are only fans of East and are not fans of Trails because they either only like action games, they just simply don't like the Trails formula, whatever the reason. And I'm gonna leave that here for now. I know, it's a relatively short one for me, that's crazy. Want to try doing some more of these very quick, short discussion type videos with you guys. Just seems like a lot of fun. So, if you enjoy this style of video, please hit that like button on your way out. It would greatly help me and simply continue to grow this channel even more. Subscribe if you haven't already, and of course, a very special thank you to all my current channel members and supporters over on Patreon. Anybody else wants to support the channel, links are in the description. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace out and stay spicy.
All right, what's next?